All right, what's up everyone? It's Goose, and today I'm going to go over the Mixwave mic stringer plugin. Mike Stringer is the guitarist of Spiritbox, and they're pretty big now. I'm sure most people know who they are at this point. Interestingly enough, I have a guitar specifically for Spiritbox songs, for learning Spiritbox songs. This is my Edwards. This is a ridiculously crazy name, but it is tuned to drop F sharp. And yeah, today we're going to be going over some of the tones that this plugin has, and there are actually quite a few of them. One small note about this video though. Right when I got back to the States, I got sick. So today's video might not be as much talking, it might be a little bit more demoing. I'll give a little bit of my thoughts about what I'm looking at today though. And actually there's a lot of this plugin that I really like. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about are the features of this plugin. So we have your input levels, we have a gate, we have a transpose, so if you want to be like pitches above or below, you can use this plugin to do that. What's actually kind of cool is that the signal chain is arranged here kind of like a modeler. So a lot of plugins have like your signal chain down here and little icons, but this one actually lets you drag things. So if I want the reverb after the delay at the end instead, I can do that here, and I can put all the effects I want in whatever order that I want them to be in. And that's really cool. The effects that you get are an overdrive, a ring mod, a amp cab, chorus, delay, and reverb. Has a lot of cool EQ stuff for your input and your output, which is usually you just see an output EQ. You have your oversampling here, you have a tap tempo here, and that's going to be really cool when we get into that later. And your output volume. The first factory preset I went to was by Mike Stringer, and it was just called Chunk. And that's what I used in the intro of this video. Yeah, and it's a very cool, straightforward kind of metal tone. It's literally just an overdrive, an amp, and a cab. What's actually really cool about this cab section is that you have 4 microphones to place. So if you really wanted to, you can like go crazy with your mic mixes. So on the amp itself, you have gain, low, mid, high, presence, resonance, volume, your sort of average EQ for any sort of high gain amp. There are different channels here, and they have a really cool effect with like the amp itself. This one right here seems to be kind of a gain channel. The red one seems to be like a really gain. But maybe it's more of like a lead channel because it's not quite as bright. And then this one's probably a clean channel. If I remember correctly, Mike uses EVH 5150s, so this definitely kind of has that like a more like American high gain vibe. Let's lower the presence a little bit, maybe boost the mid slightly. I'm gonna reduce the resonance as well, and maybe a little bit less gain. This amp is pretty great sounding on its own. Again, you have 4 mic combinations with cabs, so you don't usually get that here. This should give you enough options to find probably exactly the combination that you're looking for, especially since there's so many mics in this plugin. It's kind of insane. Usually you don't really get that many mics in plugins. But yeah, this is very, very impressive. Let's try another preset here. This is a clean preset. Dude, those trails with the reverb sound really good. This is actually probably one of my favorite clean tones I've ever gotten from a sort of metal preset sort of plugin. those trails are really, really cool. This is like up there with that McLaughlin plugin that I was using a while ago with in terms of like the reverb quality. Like it sounds really good. And you have oversampling here too. And if you're hearing any artifacts or anything, you can definitely use that in order to make something sound a little bit cleaner. So going back to the chunk preset that I like so much, let's go back to some of those effects like a ring mod. This is a really cool sort of effect. You can add some chorus to that. And so it's really cool that you get this like really interesting effect. I don't think I've seen a ring mod effect on many other plugins. And this is like a really cool little device if you're like trying to figure out an idea for something, you just need some inspiration. This is the kind of pedal that I would go for. So I really like the YouTuber Xander Rim and Charles. So let's look at his lead tone. That's a very, very cool lead tone with some, again, the reverbs. And I wouldn't expect anything less from Mike from Spiritbox because the reverbs in their songs are just insanely thick. And once again, it's just probably among the highest like quality reverbs I've heard in a plugin. This is one of my favorite presets from this pack already. Andrew Bain is another YouTuber I follow. Ooh. So there's a dotted ambient preset here, and I have wanted to check this one out too. So overall, my thoughts are, for the clean tone and also the just swath of effects that you get with this plugin, I think that would be the reason to get it. It's kind of like the McLaughlin in a lot of ways, like the effects are really where it's at with this plugin. And if you're not using the effects, you're basically just getting another 5150-ish plugin, and it still sounds really, really good. If I were to have a mix of plugins, this one would definitely be somewhere for the ambient stuff and to create kind of like a soundscape for the rest of the song to sit in. I think this plugin would be really, really good for that. That's going to do it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please consider hitting like and subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next one. Later!